All right, y'all already know who it is. Asharenu. We back in this bitch once again. You know what I mean? It's just getting pretty cold outside, so I'm like, fucking, I'm not doing a video this late outside. But you know, I be up at night anyway. I just don't be doing videos, but I'm starting to do videos now. So when things pass my mind, you know, why not give my opinion, right? So in this segment, I want to speak about why men are afraid of women in today's climate. The reason I feel this is important to speak about is because things are different now versus how I came up and how a lot of us came up before me, basically in the 20th century. You know, if you were born in the 20th century, if you lived through the 20th century, things are completely different now. You know what I mean? Like, I come from a time before the internet, as a lot of us do, right? So we knew how it was to live life prior to the 2000s and how life operated and how people did things. Now, with the advent of the internet, it completely changes everything. How you shop, how you move. Everybody got Google, you know, at their fingertips to research anything, to navigate, to get anywhere on the planet. So things are completely different because you don't have to bust out a map and read a map. Just type in the address on Google and you can get to your location. Not a problem. So, because we are in different times, this changes the mindset of the people involved in the times as well. Let me go a step further. In today's climate, and again, I'm not speaking about all men, I'm not speaking about all women, but I am speaking about the things that I have observed on a personal level that I have seen over and over and over again, you know, from state to state, city to city, person to person. You know, I see a common theme and a common pattern between a lot of these elements. So, first and foremost, I want to say that the first reason that a lot of men are afraid of women in today's climate is because they cannot keep up sexually. That's the first thing. So we'll just start with the physical plane, right? This is the plane that most people are familiar with. Most men in today's climate cannot keep up with their women sexually. What do I mean by that? If you are having an orgasm before you're a woman, as a man, there's something that you are not doing correctly. Because we all know, well, again, I don't want to use all, but a lot of us know, those who are in tune knows that you must satisfy your woman because she is the one that's transmuting the energy that you are giving her. As the givers of life, you are giving energy to your woman and she is receiving and transmuting that energy. So if you only got 5, 10, even 15 minutes of activity, you are limiting yourselves and your true potential. Why? Because the more energy you are able to give your woman, the more energy she is able to transmute. And thus, the more energy that you guys both have to work your magic. But if you don't have any energy to give in the first place, and most of the time, the reason why a lot of us men don't have enough energy to give to our women, of course, we can say it's egotistical. Why? Because all these dudes is out here chasing the bag. Well, I got to get the bag because that's what women like, right? Women wanna see me, you know, pulling up in a nice rise. You know what I mean? Women want to see you, you know, living nice, looking good, smelling good, fresh, so on and so forth. Which is true because women are physical, as I spoke about before. Men are extraterrestrial, women are terrestrial. Women rule this physical plane while men rule the extraterrestrial plane. Been speaking about this, but we're going to speak about it from a different context. So getting back to it, the reason why most men cannot satisfy their women is because they just don't have enough energy. Whether it's a lack of working out, it's a lack of just information available to you into how to increase your libido, how to increase your sexual passions. There are herbs for these things. There are books for these things. The information is out here, but if you do not dedicate yourself or don't see a long-term result in receiving this information, then it's not going to resonate with you. So moving along, because the average dude out here cannot fully satisfy his woman, and that's what I mean. You have to be able to fully satisfy your woman. Fully. And that may take an hour. That may take 2 hours. That may take some time because there's an energy transference going on beyond just the physical pleasures of the intimacy. There's energies purifying, breaking, destroying, building up. There's a whole alchemical process happening within both of the bodies when they engage in their sexuality. So if the man does not have this in mind, like the more energy I give her, the more energy that I'm going to receive in return. So now we're not just thinking about how I feel. We're thinking about how we feel, because it's two beings or however many beings operating as one unit. So when you merge together, you are operating as one unit. And the purpose that you serve as the man is the giver of energy, and the purpose that she serves as a woman is to transmute the energy that is given to her. So if you have no energy to give your woman, then there's no surprise why, a lot of these men are getting disrespected by their women. These women are just, acting a lot more wild because they are not tamed. How do you tame your woman? You have to give her enough energy to work with. If she is not receiving enough energy to work with through you, then she has to get it from elsewhere. This is just the way life works. It's not about fair, right, wrong, good or bad. It's just about if the energy is not coming from you and you're supposed to be in a relationship or a partnership with this person, then it creates problems. And again, a lot of these dudes, their minds be all over the place anyway. Looking at the neighbors and shit, looking at the fat ass at work when they got something at home. See, this is the thing that most people don't understand. People don't have a stagnant, I don't want to say personality, but just your physicality is not stagnant. Meaning, you may look a certain way today. In 30 days, you may look completely different, depending on how you live your life, depending on what activities that you engage in. For example, you start smoking crack or something, in 30 days, you're going to look really different. Or if you start to work out, on the flip side of it, you start to get your exercise in, you start to be more physical, and you will get results within those 30 days. So depending on which outlet that you take will determine your physicality. So because, again, most men don't understand the energy transference that's taking place and how necessary it is. So when you approach your woman, not just sexually, just the whole interaction with your woman has to be all about energy and energy transference, which goes to the second thing that I'm going to speak about, which is the intelligence. Most women are more intelligent than men. That's scientific, right? I believe women mature faster than men in most cases. So women are pretty much 9 times out of 10 more intelligent than men. That's just how their minds are, built from, you can say, the creator from self. However, because women are naturally more intelligent, they have to deal with their emotions, right? So women may be supreme in their intelligence, but because they have to deal with their emotions, which can take them all over the fucking place, This is why they need men to keep them level. As men, we are here to keep our women level. Because yes, your woman may be more intelligent than you, but because she has to deal with her emotions can take her all over the place. It is you that keeps her rooted in her foundation so that she doesn't start veering off all over the place. However, if you don't have enough energy to give her physically or mentally, then we see where the problem lies. So there should never be a point where, you don't have anything to say to your woman. You don't have anything to give to your woman. So not only are you giving the magic rod, but you're also giving her your intelligence, because you are an intelligent being. And as a man, we know that we must be rooted in reality. We go out into this world and deal in reality. A woman can deal in fantasy, her whole fucking life. That's just what, they can. Again, a woman can perfect her body and be taken care of by men. That's just a reality. As a man, not so much. We have to deal in reality and make a way for ourselves, regardless of how we may feel about these things, right? So as a man, we have to deal in reality. So we keep our women in tune with the reality of what's actually real and not what's rooted in fantasy. It's easy to get veered off track by the fantasy. So as a man, you keep the woman rooted in reality so that fantasy shit doesn't go too far. With these soap operas, all this, women be into all kind of drama and just shit that just don't make any fucking sense. Why? Because they don't have a man there to like, yo, we don't need to sit in front of this TV watching. I don't even want to mention no shows because I'm not here to give no fucking advertisement. So whatever the fuck motherfuckers watch, your woman should be with you, right next to you in the whip, and you spitting your fucking game. So much so that she doesn't want to watch this bullshit on TV or this bullshit on the internet. Why? Because y'all cruising, right? Y'all cruising, y'all doing y'all thing. And you spitting that knowledge, you spitting that wisdom, you spitting that understanding. She don't give a fuck about TV because she got you as the man. You are the TV. But you don't destroy her. You are building her up. The TV destroys the mind. You are here to build the mind up, to nourish her intelligence, her supreme intelligence. You need to nourish that. But how do you nourish it? You need to be intelligent. You need to be rooted in reality. You need to know what's really going on in this world so that you can let her know what's really going on in this world. Again, so that we don't get lost in fantasy and we don't get lost in illusion and deception and trickery. So as a man, you keep her rooted in the reality of the world, which is not nice, but necessary to understand. Not just know, but to understand it. Why is this world the way it is? More so than this is just the way the world is. Why? Because if you are able to answer those harder questions, because anybody can look and see, okay, shit is fucked up. Anybody can make that observation, but everybody can't tell you why. Because in order for you to find out why, you have to be rooted in reality. You need to really be interacting with nature, as we say. You need to have a personal relationship with nature in order to know the why, to go deeper into the circumstances and the cycles of nature. Like everybody knows it gets cold in the wintertime, but there's very few people who can explain what exactly the earth is going through cycle-wise, which makes it more colder. You get what I'm saying? And you knowing that gives you an advantage in life when you know how things work. So as the man, you have to know how things work in this world so that you can implant that knowledge into your woman and she can cultivate her intelligence. Lastly, we talked about the physical plane. We talked about the mental plane. What's left? The spirit, which is where we rule. As the man, this is where you rule. This is where your throne is. This is where you should be the strongest version of yourself when it comes to moving with the spirit. Why? Because as men, we are rooted in the extraterrestrial knowledge. In other words, this is why you see male prophets. And again, I spoke about this in one of my videos called when I was speaking about porn, life is a vintage porno movie, so on and so forth. I spoke about the differences between the terrestrial plane and the extraterrestrial plane. So therefore, because the throne of the man is rooted in the extraterrestrial, again, this is why we have men spitting the word of God, right? And I have a question here. Let me answer the question. What if a woman is the one who is in the known, who has knowledge of the world, and the male being the ignorant one? Okay, great question. What if the woman has the game and the man does it? In that case, we can say, because I just did a video talking about pimping, right? I just did a video entitled Pimping, but I didn't touch on this aspect of the game, which is very true. And this aspect is where it's really the woman who is cultivating the man to be the greatest version of himself, because a woman already had the game, because a woman is actually getting out here, hitting the streets, dealing in reality, right? So let me take it a step further for those who don't really understand what I'm talking about. And again, this is why it's necessary to be rooted in reality. We can talk about spirituality all day, every day, ascension, meditation. We can talk about that all day. But when we talk about reality, what actually exists and what's actually real, it takes a different type of conversation and a different type of thought process to truly understand. So let me give you this example. If a woman has the game and a man does not, then that woman must cultivate that man so that he can serve his purpose in her life. What do I mean? That woman now becomes responsible if she chooses to take on that responsibility. As you know, just like the man, you have to take responsibility for your woman. So if you are a woman and you are already knowledgeable, now you have to take responsibility for cultivating your man's mind so that he can be a proper, let me see, what is the right word for this? I'm trying to be politically correct, but it doesn't work. So let me just speak raw. The woman has to cultivate the man so that he can be in her corner. In other words, it's not for her to like just to put a book in his hand. So let me be practical with it. It's not for the woman to say, okay, hey, this is a great book, you should read it. No. You read the fucking book and you lay the game out for him. Don't pass people books. You read the books, because everybody does not have the gift of reading. Reading is also a form of divination. Reading is very magical, right? So you read the book and you break the book down with your own personal experience. And that's going to resonate more with that man than you just handing him a book. You must already be in tune with who and what you are. Especially if you say you already have the game, then you don't need books. If you are a woman, you already got the game, then your mouthpiece should be enough to cultivate that man's mind so that he can be on point, so that he can properly serve you. So as a woman, if you have the game, you must cultivate your man to properly serve you. And this is what hoes do for pimps all the time. If the pimp is lacking, who is correcting him? His woman. Because his woman is always in reality seeing what's really going on. He lets her know what's going on in the extraterrestrial plane, but she has to go out in these streets and interact with these tricks and bring the game back to him. And he studies that and he learns how to better develop the way that they go about doing things. So this is what I mean. So it all depends on the profession. So because I believe I have a different question as well. Another question is, what about men who embody the divine feminine? Great question. Because yes, we are in the times where a lot of men do embody the divine feminine. However, if you are a man who embodies the divine feminine, then it is your goal to embody the divine masculine to bring a equilibrium to your life. So let's just say you're just more geared towards the feminine aspects of life. You may be gay. You just may be, drawn to spirituality versus, working at a power plant somewhere. So if you are already naturally geared towards the feminine aspects of life, then in order for you to balance yourself as a man, you must embody the divine masculine. If you already embody the divine feminine, you must balance yourself. And this is why male and female relationships are so important, because we teach each other how to do that. The man is teaching the woman how to embody the divine masculine. The woman is teaching the man how to embody the divine feminine. Right? That's why when you see pimps, a lot of people say pimps are feminine. He's getting that feminine aspect from his woman, from his bitch. She got the style. She's the one walking around, with, as they call it, the juice, the sauce. When you got an attractive, gorgeous woman and she's willing to get down and dirty for you, she's the one that got all the sauce, and you learn from her. Like, damn, the way she put those outfits together, the way she utilizes her accessories, so on and so forth. That's why the pimp, it ain't about how you dress. It ain't just about how you dress. Then you got to get the jewelry on point, right? You got to get your style on point. You're learning from your woman. Why? Because you're cultivating her mind, and it's going to reflect in everything that she does. And so when you observe her, you are observing the seeds that you have planted in her mind that have been cultivated by her, and now the manifestations can be seen, felt, and heard by everyone, including yourself. So this is what I mean, where we have a lot of relationships where people are afraid to be honest with each other. You got a lot of lies and deception. So this never happens in a typical relationship. Why? Because most of these motherfuckers are at competition with each other. The man is competing with the woman. The woman is competing with the man. And this is the last point I want to speak about is, in today's times, we have a lot of women who are in positions of power. After all, YouTube, which is the platform we on now, is ran by a woman, Susan B. Anthony, I believe. Right? So women are, getting it in and chasing that bag, doing what they need to do on the financial aspect as well. However, because we have a lot of women, in positions of power in today's times, this makes men feel more inadequate, because now it's not all about taking care of your woman, where as a man, you go out and do the work and the woman stays home and take care of the kids in the household. Those days are over. Everybody's just chasing the bag now. Women are thinking more like men. Men are thinking more like women. But if you just look at it, just look at the internet. Who's gossiping more? The men or the women? I see a lot more podcasters, a lot more men gossiping about every fucking thing than women. Not to say that women don't do it, but in terms of who's dominating, you see more men just spewing a bunch of nonsense out their mouths, more so than women. So, because women are in positions of power, it makes men feel, as they think, less than the man. Because let's just say you're not taking care of your woman. Let's just say your woman is paying the bills. You may be working too, but let's just say she makes enough money where she can cover the bills, and she just tell you keep your money. You keep your money, and you cultivate yourself. I got the bills. Most men do not know how to handle that situation, because their egos get in the way. Like, well, nah, I can't. Not gonna let my woman take care of me. Not realizing that she already feels that way about you. She already sees, like, all right, this guy has potential. He just needs a little push, maybe just need a couple bands in his pocket. A woman is observing you very closely as the man, so she can see where your flaws are and where your strengths are. So when women test men, they already know what makes you tick, because they have been studying you since day one. See, again, as men, we be just focused on the ass, the titties, the curves. You know what I mean? We don't be, but the woman, on the other hand, she is looking at all those subtleties, all your subtleties. She's looking at the things that you may not even be paying attention to. Or in other words, you could say as a man, we more so look at a woman's outfit and how the outfit like outlines the body and all that. But as a woman, she's looking at something completely different. She's looking at how you piece everything together. So she's not worried about, oh, he got a Gucci sweater or some bullshit. She's like, you can have on nothing. Or what I mean by nothing is you can have no name brand nothing. You don't know what you wearing. But if you piece it together properly, it shows personality. It shows character. It shows exactly what you about. Let's just say, because again, for the whole month of December, I'm pretty much just wearing all black. So for the month of December, all you're gonna see me in is black. Just, you know, as a dedication. However, as everybody clearly sees, you know, I have a lot of accessories. Black hoodie, black hat, black pants, black shoes, black headphones, whatever. It's black all over the fucking place. But the accessories brings out more of the personality. So that's what women look at. Women are looking at how you piece it all together, how you make it work overall. So therefore, as a man, you cannot get in your ego and be intimidated by a woman just because she may make more than you. You have to use that opportunity to cultivate yourself and be the potential that she sees you as already. Because a woman is not going to make that sacrifice if she doesn't see the potential in you. What woman is going to pay a man's bills if she don't have genuine love for that man? She's not going to do it if she doesn't already feel some type of way about you. But again, because most dudes is idiots, everything is just egotistical, they may feel offended by that. They may not like that instead of using that as an opportunity to cultivate themselves. Because if she is willing to cultivate you by putting bands in your pocket, by making sure that you fresh every day, all day, making sure that, you know what I mean, you go out there and you present yourself in excellence. If she's willing to make that sacrifice, because why, she has the bag to do so. Because again, women don't really care about money, you know, even though it appears to be that way, but they really don't. They care about you. They care about you. Men are more interested in things. Women are more interested in people. So that's why the woman is looking at you and you're looking at the things. That's the difference. Therefore, if you have somebody in your corner that is willing to help you cultivate yourself, use it and do something with it. Don't just emotionally react and feel challenged. Because a woman may be in a better financial position. She may be more intelligent and she may dominate you in the bed. A real man sees that and makes improvements, which is what the woman wants you to do anyway. She's not mad at you because you only can last 5 minutes. She's like, all right, he just needs some help. She may get you a fucking gym membership. Hey, I didn't pay for a whole gym membership for a whole year. All you gotta do is go to the gym and work out, work that ass out, right? So that you can come home and fuck me properly. Who's mad at that? Because if you know you are lacking in that department, and your woman knows that you are lacking in that department, and she's willing to put that bag down to help you cultivate that instead of just leaving you in the dust. This motherfucker sex game is whack. I'm not giving him no time. Versus, I genuinely, you know, appreciate this person, even their flaws. So even in their flaws, I will help them cultivate it, but they have to put the work in themselves. That's the difference. If a woman is willing to help you cultivate, then you must be willing to take the challenge and to grow from that. So you may start off where she's just dominating you sexually, but you begin to start to dominate her over time. She may have started off, you know, more intellectual than you, but over time, through you cultivating your intellect, now you can stimulate her. And she may have financially been better off than you, but over time, you cultivating your body and your mind, now things start to even out when you put that work in. So when you take away the ego and respect the woman who is cultivating you, because again, you are doing the same thing for a woman if it's flipped. This is the same thing a man is doing for a woman. But if a woman is more advanced, then she would be doing that for a man. That's why it works both ways. So if you already got the game as a woman, you get a game to your man. If you got the game as a man, you give it to your woman. So that y'all, the two becomes one. And y'all operate on one accord. So let me see. Yeah, everybody's pretty much just saying what I'm saying already. Vince, I was raised by just my mom. So I'm guessing he's overseas. My mom. So that's probably why I have a feminine understanding. This is hip hop. So I will address that since it was brought up. So what about the men? Let's just say if you didn't have a father in your life. Your father was hip hop. Your father was the streets. Your mom, we'll just say your mom can only teach you so much. When you hit the streets, you learn reality. When you hit the streets, you learn reality, right? So the streets cultivate your mind. Or, a stepfather if it was a man. But if it wasn't a man, then the streets become your father. Hip hop becomes your father. And I can speak for myself. Because it wasn't a man, of course, I mean, it was, y'all know how relationships come and go, come and go, come and go. But the one consistent in my life was hip hop. And I studied it. So not just the hip hop that was coming out of my times, I studied the whole history of hip hop. And through the study of hip hop, I learned different aspects of reality through hip hop, and I studied. That's why I say hip hop was my first introduction into abstract thinking. It was through the hip hop songs. They were speaking about things that I had no knowledge about, and it made me want to study these things. It was hip hop that made me want to study, the 5% nation. It was hip hop that made me want to study astrology, numerology, all the things that I'm into now. The seed was planted through listening to hip hop music that had substance. And of course, a party shit is a party shit. You know what I mean? There's some shit you want to turn on while you making love to your woman. It is what it is. So there's different aspects of hip hop that serve a different purpose. That's why hip hop is a culture. So you got the music to play in the club, you got the music to play when you fucking, you got the music to play when you just want to study, and you got the music to play when you just want to be in deep meditation. Hip hop serves all of those purposes. So there's no need for us to just focus on just a party music. Hip hop is holistic. So if you didn't have a father in your life, someone to teach you the ropes, then you got to get it from elsewhere. It's not for us to dwell on, I didn't have a father. If that's the card you was dealt, that's a card you was dealt. Nothing you can do about it. But what you can do about it is not use that as a limiting factor in your life. So some men did start off with the divine feminine. That's why a lot of artists become artists because they cultivated the divine feminine. That's why that's why the music industry dominates them. I just talked about this before, where 70% of the money that's generated from the music industry goes to the executives. 30% goes to the artists. That's because they have cultivated the divine feminine versus the divine masculine. And those who cultivated the divine masculine were, the owners, like the master P's, the ones who were able to make deals and to negotiate so that they don't get fucked over. That takes a man to be a thinking person so that they don't get taken advantage of. So that's why we have a lot of artists getting taken advantage of, because they have cultivated the divine feminine without the divine masculine. Because they have people who were put in place that represent the divine masculine and not themselves. Now, of course, you have special artists who embodies both of them. But this is not, the norm. But it's very possible if you set your mind to it. Simple stuff when put into proper perspective. If I had to wear all black throughout the whole month, I would end up in a psycho ward. You hate black to wear? It is what it is. You know, I wear it because I know what black represents. Black represents the energy of Saturn. That's why I wear it. If I just want to speak about myself, it's not. I don't really. It ain't even about the color itself. I can care less about color in and of itself. It's what the color represents. That's why I wear it. It's for the representation of it, for the protection. When you wear black, it's like a protection. When you will see me with the black fingernails, it's about protection. Fuck the color in and of itself. So when I'm walking around with a big ass shield when I wear this black. And if I want to have color, that's why I have the accessories. This is where my color comes from. This is the color. The actual outfit itself, is colorless without color. Or no, because black is all colors. White reflects color. Black absorbs color. So the black is a combination of all colors. Basic colors in science, right? But that's why I do it. If anybody wanted to know why I do it personally, it's about the energy of Saturn, which I've been speaking about forever. I've been speaking about, the den of Satan, Satanism, Saturn, mathematics. I've been speaking about this forever. So I'm just living it out. I just do a little bit more than talk. I'm actually going out into the world with this mentality. And this is where the information comes from, because when you go out into the world as a scientist with a scientific mind and a magical mind with the left and right brain being stimulated at the same time, then it allows you to have original thought. Right? So, who the fuck would I be to be telling anybody who's watching this video anything if I'm not living it out? I'm just a motherfucker who's talking. Some people may be satisfied with that, but this is why I have showed you guys. Right? I have showed you guys by worse. Your favorite YouTuber probably has never done that. Let's just be real. I had the camera on when I had nothing. When I'm walking around looking like a homeless man with all this. Go back in the archives. I didn't show my face at the worst of the worst. Just showing and proving that I have transcended the ego, because I'm not caught up. Most people will never show their reality. I continuously show my reality. I continuously show when I do bad, when I'm all right. Because this is just how life works. It's a up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes you don't have stability. Sometimes you do. But the one consistency in it all is the way the mind works and having the mentality of a scientist. So it don't matter if I have no money in my pocket or bands in my pocket. I still have the same mentality. That's why if I don't have bands, it won't be long before the bands start to accumulate, because you think a certain way and you don't doubt yourself, you don't limit yourself, and you are constantly cultivating and giving your energy to those who can appreciate it. All right. Exactly. A real man can see through the bullshit, the deception. Why? Because a real man is rooted in reality. He sees what actually goes on, so he's not dealing with fantasy. And as a man, you don't have the luxury of dealing in fantasy. Leave that to the women. Nothing wrong with fantasy, but as a man, you just don't have the luxury of dealing in fantasy. Especially if you're trying to give something to a woman who may already be dealing in fantasy. You have to root her in reality. Right? You got to be the rock for your woman, right? You got to be the stone. You got to be the backbone. And the woman feel the same way about her man. You don't think that woman will kill for that man if she really feel that way about him? You don't think a woman will get gangster for a man that she loves? Let's just be real here. A woman will pull that trigger and bust some guns. Let somebody mess with her man. See, again, we may not think about women like, as a man, we're like always trying to protect our woman, but they have the same mentality. They not gonna let nothing happen to you either. They not. Let somebody do anything or say something to you out of line, your woman is gonna be the one that you gonna like, yo, like, relax. She's the one that you gotta tame. because she just feels that strongly about you. And you cannot take that for granted. So you must always cultivate the physical, the mental, and the financial as one science. You have to, right? Well, of course, you don't have to, but it would be in your benefit for you to do so. All right. So is the DM and DF the same as twin flames or soulmates? So in other words, I guess you're talking about, is a divine masculine and a divine feminine the same as soulmates and twin flames? No, the divine feminine is a woman or a man embodying their feminine nature. This is more so about self. When we're talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, it's more so talking about self. If we're talking about the soul mates or people within the same soul group or twin flames, this talks about people who may have already had a connection prior to their physical reincarnation. Right? So we're talking about a connection that goes beyond the physical reincarnation. But if we're talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, that's talking about your current reincarnation and what you can do with it. So as a man, cultivate your divine masculine. Then cultivate your divine feminine. As a woman, cultivate your divine feminine, then cultivate your divine masculine. And you may have a partner to help you with this process, or you may not. Otherwise, or either way, this is what we strive to do, to be of a divine essence, because that's what we already are. But we must embody that in our ways and actions and the way we communicate. Trust me, if you have a golden tongue, and we know about gold turning lead to gold, if you have took yourself through the alchemical process to the point where you can speak and move people with your words, that comes with a great responsibility. Because you can speak and the person jumps off a building if they feel that they truly trust you. For example, with the whole Kurt Cobain, I guess, the motherfucker who had people drinking the poison Kool-Aid or some shit. People are willing to die for you if they really, truly feel that you speak truth. People go to war, pick up guns, and kill other people because they feel that their leader or their country represents the truth. And they will die for that truth, and they will kill others for that truth. That's the reality, right? So that's how the things work, The madness of reality keeps you rooted in your foundation, right? All right. Black is beautiful, absolutely, And I don't say black. I don't refer to people as black people. So when I say white, black, I don't, that's 1700s madness. Black, white. You're black, you're white. If we want to take it back to the 700s, we can. But if we want to think like futuristic people, we shouldn't be referring to each other as colors, but from the mental plane. What is your mentality like? Fuck your skin tone. What is your mentality like? Because that's what makes you attractive or unattractive. Your mind. Is your mind beautiful or is it garbage? Right? Because that's what draw people to you or repel people from you is what's going on in your mind, not necessarily your skin tone. Except idiots. Idiots is looking at, oh, that motherfucker got dark skin, I'm not fucking with him. That an idiot thinks like that. Someone who's ignorant, but someone else who's intelligent, what's going on in that person's mind? I'm more interested in that. Anyway. Can porn still be enlightening if it's altering your sexuality, giving you erectile dysfunction? I don't think pornography has the ability to cause erectile dysfunction in and of itself. Now, if a person is choosing every time they turn on a porno flick to be jacking their dick to the point where when a real woman enters into their lives, they don't know how to get a hard on because they're so used to seeing madness. That's one thing. However, pornography doesn't alter your sexuality. It just makes you more aware of what you like and what you don't like. And that's why I said in the video where pornography gives you a direction. If you want to try something new in bed with your partner, turn on some porno and expand your sexuality. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be expanding your sexuality with your partner. This is what you're supposed to do. Pornography is supposed to expand your sexuality. Oh shit, I didn't even know you can do that. Let me try that with my partner. That's what it's supposed to do for you. It's supposed to take you to new levels and new chambers in your mind. And you have somebody there with you to cultivate that same energy. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to expand. It's supposed to take you beyond limitations. It's supposed to allow you to become enlightened in the perspective of realizing that, how do I say this? Pornography is a part of life, just like erotica is a part of life. So you are just coming to the realization that this is a part of life. Regardless of how many people down this shit. Porn, you shouldn't watch it. But everybody still watches it. That's just a reality. Why do people watch porn? Because it's suppressed in our society. Nobody's teaching you the real game of how to actually utilize your sexual force. So when people get married and people get into relationships, they don't know what to do. Why? Because their whole life, everybody's been uncomfortable talking about sex and what to properly do. So when, as a teenager, when you discover porn, it's a game changer. Like, oh, this is how you satisfy a woman. That's what it did for me. I studied porn. Then when I started to satisfy women, they're like, yo, you're actually pretty good at what you do. I'm like, yeah, I've been watching porn for fucking 10 years. And I've been studying it. Not just watching it and getting my rocks off, but studying it. Oh, this is how, okay, let me try that position. When I, next woman that I'm dealing with, I got 3, 4, 5 positions I want to try. Like I already got my game plan. So I'm coming into the bedroom with a game plan. I already know, how to make sure that I don't slip, and bust off too quickly. Because you've been watching porn and you're looking at these motherfuckers like, this motherfucker just want to hold 30 minutes. And didn't have to stop. Or didn't prematurely ejaculate. Right? Women hate that, right? You hate the premature ejaculation. Anyway. Let's see. Exactly. So does that mean that one can build up a more protection field around oneself by wearing more black? Absolutely. Like, never take anything I do on face value. Never take it, because I'm never operating off of face value. And you shouldn't either. So yes, colors create reality. You want to be more happy? Wear more yellow. You want to be more smooth? Wear more blue. You want to be more passionate? Wear red. Colors trigger emotions. Colors give you access to different realities. Colors connect you with planets, frequencies, energies, chakras. There's colors with the chakras. Color, there's a whole science of just dealing with colors and the effect it has on the body, the mind, and the spirit. It's a whole philosophy on this, right? But you got to be able to put these things together and make them useful for yourself. All right. Back to the NYC. You already know, like, where do you think I get the black from? You know what I mean? This is New York. When I was in New York, all you see is black leather jackets and black. I saw people wearing all black more than any other city I've been in. But New York is the city of the Great Mother, or the Black Mother. The Statue of Liberty is a black woman. So when people in New York wear black, it's giving honorance to the original woman. Do your history. So that's why people wear black in New York. So this is more of an honorance to the Great Mother as well, if you want to take it to that level. So it all depends on how far you want to go in your mind with it. All right. Prime. One chosen. You are who you think you are. Absolutely. But your thoughts have to manifest into things and actions and communications. So you can't just keep it on a mental plane. It must be expressed. Right? What's up, 305 Capricorn? Perception is a thing? Absolutely. Let me see. Accessories, y'all don't have spell check. Don't trip on the spell check. You know what I mean? After all, it is the internet. So we're not trying to necessarily be perfect over the internet. So if somebody makes little typos, as long as everybody knows what's trying to be conveyed, then leave it alone. You know what I mean? We don't need to correct each other with the fucking typos and shit. You know, it's a phone. So, you know, if you were speaking, you would say the word properly, accessories. But you may make a typo on the little phone. Technology, you know, has its limitations. So don't trip on it. Can you manifest instantly? I already did that video. I did a whole video on that, you know. Actually, I did. I have a whole playlist. Just watch my playlist on manifestation. I have a whole playlist on manifestation. But most people don't know that, right? Watch my playlist. If you ain't trying to go through 400 videos, watch my playlist. Go exactly to where you're trying to go to. You want to deal with the underworld, got a whole playlist on the underworld. Got a whole playlist on manifestation. Got a whole playlist on sexuality. Everything that I speak on, I've literally created, I organized the video, so whatever you need to deal with, just go to the playlist. You know, so that you can see it from all type of different perspectives. All right, so just utilize my playlist on my channel so that if whatever subject, you know, you need to deal with, there's already videos on videos that's already dealing with that. Also, watch my playlist on my Q&A where I'm just answering questions the whole fucking video about everything. So you just gotta do your research. You gotta dig. All right. Tuned in from Africa. What's up? What's up? Peace to the viewers in Africa. You know what I mean? You never really know how far, you know, your words expand and how far your words reach. This is why we always try to perfect ourselves. You know what I mean? Never in my mind did I think that I would actually be able to, you know, someone in different countries would actually care about anything I have to say. But we clearly see that that's, you know, that's a limitation that I had to deal with within my own mind. Now people watch from all around the world. But that's what happened when you speak the truth. That's the truth, as they say, will set you free. Why? Because when you don't deceive and when you don't lie, when you just be honest and you speak honestly, people resonate with honesty, with the truth. You know what I mean? You can feel just in my energy that I'm speaking the truth. You don't feel that I'm trying to deceive anyone, because how could you when there's no benefit? What benefit do I gain by lying or deceiving or dealing in illusion? I gain nothing from that. That's why you have a bunch of motherfuckers. You know, a lot of people, oh, this person scammed me. This person isn't legit. Where are the videos about me doing somebody dirty in business? They don't exist. And it's like I've been around probably longer than a lot of these motherfuckers. I've been doing videos for a longer amount of time, so I've been engaged in the business for a longer amount of time. But you don't see people making videos about how I did them dirty. Because I make sure that I engage in good business. I go above and beyond. Anybody who has ever gained, anybody who has worked with me business-wise, you know that I go above and beyond. I'm giving you a whole lesson. I don't just give you a natal chart or a numerology chart. I don't just give you a reading. I'm giving you lessons. I'm giving you whole bills, hours long. Because I actually live this life, so I can speak to you for fucking 6 hours. And it's completely original. But you can do that when you are firmly rooted in what you claim to be rooted in. So just take heed. You know, before you start following people, listening to people, do they engage in good business? Is it a bunch of motherfuckers making videos about how they got scammed? Again, you just don't see that with me because it does not happen. And if anybody feel that type of way, I just give you a refund. It's easy. Anybody feel like I took anything from them, here, I give it to you. I give it right back to you because I don't need it. It's just good business. So when you're willing to give those refunds, you just spent 3 hours talking to a motherfucker and they are not satisfied, here's your money back. Just letting them know that good relationship and that good rampart is more important to me than that bag. So if a person's not satisfied, take your money back. Do something else with your money. I keep it moving. Then they may come back later on, get a new service. Why? Because you gave them their money back. You weren't going back and forth with them, yada, yada, yada. You give them their money back like, yo, okay, at least I got my money back. How can you argue with that? Motherfucker gave you your money back. Well, a motherfucker made sure to go above and beyond. But anyway, this should be common knowledge, right? But sometimes it's not, because apparently there's a lot of motherfuckers still tricking people. And you will have to deal with that karma. So that's all I'm saying. Just don't engage in the bullshit so that it doesn't bite you in the ass when you're really trying to do what you're trying to do. When you really get to the apex, or you're trying to get to the apex and you're being pulled down by all the people that you fucked over on the way up, you don't want that. If you just do good business the entire way up, whole different situation, right? That motherfucker does good business. That motherfucker has good product. That motherfucker has good quality. That's the difference. Anyway. All right. Yeah, y'all get the point. Y'all get the point, right? So. Yeah, even if you watched all my videos, I guarantee that you have not discovered the wisdom within the videos. Remember, there's a difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And this will be the last point. So even if you are a person that has watched every single one of my videos, let's just say you did that a year ago. You discovered the videos, you watched the whole videos. That was a year ago, though. When you watch them again this time around, you're going to get a completely different perspective because you have evolved. Because you have been putting in that work. So now when I speak, you know, like, oh, this is actually real. Why? Because I saw what he saw. Because I did what I was supposed to do. So now when I speak, now it resonates more with you because you have results. You have your own results to compare to. So when I say this happens and this happened, this work, now you know if it's real. Because you even been putting in that work yourself. For example, like I talk all the time about the clean mantra, K-L-L, not K-L-L, K-L-E-E-M, clean. I can speak about that mantra all day. Like, yeah, I heard you talk about clean, but did you actually fucking use it? It's not until you actually use it, then you're like, oh, I see. You got to use it, though. So even if you saw all the videos, did you do the exercises outlined in the videos? That's the true question. Fuck watching the videos. Did you actually put the information into practice? That will determine how far you go. Because you can watch video after video after video, but if you're not applying it, then does it truly matter? I don't think so. All right. What's up, creative empowerment? Hola, hola, hola. Exactly. Knowledge applied equals wisdom. And once that knowledge has been applied and you take away the things that are not necessary, then you can reflect on that. You gain an understanding based on the knowledge that has been applied. And what does that bring? Your culture. And again, this is the supreme mathematics for those who don't understand. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, power, equality, God, build or destroy, born, cipher. The 10 numbers. How does the numbers work? Knowledge, information, wisdom, utilizing that information, understanding, reflecting on that information. Your culture is, once you reflect on that information, it becomes your way of life. When it becomes your way of life, it empowers you. Once you are empowered, what are you empowered to do to equalize the playing field that you are on? You can synchronize your thoughts with your deeds. That's the equality. The scales are now balanced. What you think reflects what you do. That's the number 6, the equality. And that puts you on the realm of God, which is the number 7. Now you have mastered the mental and the physical. Now, as the level of God, you start to lift up that astral body, right? Now you're dealing with spirituality. And from that spirituality, now you are building and destroying on the astral plane, or from the higher levels, the mental plane on the tree of life, right? And from that, building and destroying on the mental plane or the spiritual plane, now when you bring things into existence, which is born or the number 9, you see the entire process from beginning or end that's happening within the number 0 of the cipher. So this whole process is taking place within the cipher. So you got the numbers 1 through 9 all taking place within this 0, which represents the womb of the great mother, the Sophia. Right? So there we go. So we are hour in. So y'all get it. What's up, Brianna? So y'all already know. Let me see how much battery do I have? I have like 33%. So I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to do another fucking video right after this video because I'm just in the mood to do fucking videos. This is just welcome to the month of December. Welcome to the energy of Saturn. So it's all about pressure, information, mathematics. Get it in. We out.